Welcome to Heart Echo channel, where every story feels like a heartbeat you feel once lived. She always believed that life had a strange way of hurting her. Emily grew up learning to keep her voice quiet, her dreams hidden, her heart guarded. She wasn't dramatic, she wasn't loud, she wasn't someone who asked for more than she deserved. But somehow, life still felt heavy on her shoulders. Every morning she woke up with the same thought: why does life choose me to test? At 17, her mother walked out. At 20, her father slipped into a depression that made him forget she existed. At 22, the person she trusted the most said she was too much when all she ever did was give. And slowly, Emily started believing that maybe she really was the problem. She stopped talking about her feelings because every time she opened up, someone either left or used her vulnerability against her. Her heart learned to survive by going silent, but silence is a lonely home to live in. She worked 2 jobs, took night classes, and still found ways to take care of her father. People looked at her and said she was strong, but no one ever asked if she wanted to be. She cried in parking lots, in grocery aisles, in empty classrooms, wherever life gave her 5 seconds to breathe. Yet every time she wiped her tears, she whispered the same line: "I'll be okay. I have to be." Then came the night everything changed. It was raining. The kind of rain that makes the world look blurry, like someone wiped their hand across the sky. Emily was driving home when her car suddenly crashed into a ditch. After a slippery curve, she wasn't badly hurt, but she couldn't move the car, and the cold rain soaked through everything. Her hands shook. For the first time in years, she whispered a prayer not for help, but for strength to survive another moment. And that's when a stranger stopped. A man roughly her age stepped out of his truck with an umbrella. His name was Daniel. He didn't ask her what she did wrong. He didn't scold her for being out late. He didn't make her feel small. He just looked at her shivering hands and said, "You're okay. I've got you." For words she hadn't heard in years. For words that felt like someone finally understood how desperately she needed comfort. He waited with her until the tow truck arrived. He didn't leave her side for a second. And when he drove her home, he didn't ask for anything. Not her number, not her story. He just made sure she walked inside safely. That night, for the first time in a long time, Emily didn't feel punished by life. She felt seen. She thought she would never see him again, but life had just started fixing what it once broke. A week later, Daniel showed up at her workplace. He wasn't intrusive. He just smiled and asked if she was doing okay. One question, but that one question opened a door she had kept locked for years. Slowly they started talking. Slowly she started laughing again. Slowly she started believing the world wasn't always waiting to hurt her. Daniel didn't save her life in a dramatic way. He saved it quietly by staying. By showing up, by listening, by choosing her on days she didn't even choose herself. He never told her she was strong. He told her she deserved softness. He never called her dramatic. He called her brave. He never made her feel like a burden. He made her feel like she mattered simply by existing. Life wasn't punishing her. It was preparing her to appreciate the person who would treat her heart gently, preparing her to understand what real love looks like, preparing her to stop apologizing for needing care, affection, and support, preparing her to believe that soft places still exist in a hard world. Months passed and Emily realized something she never expected. All the nights she cried alone, all the moments she thought she wasn't enough, all the times she questioned her worth, none of it was a punishment. It was shaping her into the woman who could finally recognize the kind of love she truly deserved. One evening, as the sun was setting, Daniel looked at her the same way he did the night he rescued her. But this time he said something different. He said, "Life didn't hurt you, Emily. People did. Life was just waiting for the right moment to bring you here, to me." And for the first time in her life, she believed it. Emily didn't find a miracle in a big dramatic moment. She found it in the simplest one: someone choosing her, without asking her to prove her worth first. Someone loving her in the quiet ways she always dreamed of, but never thought she would receive. Someone showing her that even when the world breaks you, it can still hand you something beautiful. She once thought life was punishing her, but in reality, life was saving her, piece by piece, until she was ready to be loved the right way. Thanks for listening to Heart Echo channel. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe for more.